Special advisor on special duties to Governor of Enugu State, Uwakwe Azikiwe, joins me to give more insights on Nigeria at 62. Thank you very much for joining us at this point. Now,
Thank you very
your
much for having me.
father was one of the notable leaders in this country. Now, 62 years after, are we living the dream of your father?
Okay. Once again, thank you for having me. Well, it's very clear that we're not living the dream that my father and his contemporaries had, because when they fought for independence, they felt that Nigeria was ready to rule itself, ready to govern itself. And to do that, it means progress. But in a situation where in the country there's so much insecurity, the unemployment rate is high, power outages, schools are on strike, corruption, allegations here and there, non-payment of salaries, it is very clear that's not the country that they envisioned. But it's for Nigerians to tell themselves that things are not going well. We need to head back in the direction that the founding fathers wanted us to head to.
And what direction will that be?
Direction of where we make sure we elect good leaders. A good leader is someone who every decision they take is one that is geared towards the betterment of the masses. So it's for Nigerians to actively participate in the electoral process and select the people that they really want to rule them, to lead them. Because in a country where we have 200 million people and maybe 80 million registered voters, if only 30 million decide who is your president and the same percentage trickles down at the Senate, senatorial level, House of Rep level, governorship, it really doesn't say well about the followers. So we as followers, we need to actively get involved so that when we make a decision, we will now battle with our conscience, whether we pick the right person or not. And that right person gets in there and takes decisions that will move the country better and cater for the future of Nigeria.
Okay, so earlier you talked about the fact that we are not living the dreams of the founding fathers of Nigeria. Now, so many people have called for a disintegration, a separation of the country so that we can all go our individual individual areas and develop ourselves. Do you support that motion?
Well, you know, one of the style of government that we had initially was regions. And the regions govern themselves. If we have federalism, I don't like using the word true federalism, because federalism, either you're doing federalism or you're not. But if we have federalism and the states are in control of their natural resources, the states take decisions about things within their jurisdiction, I think everybody will be happy. My father, when he was fighting for freedom or independence, what he was basically fighting for was to liberate Africa, the entire Africa. So you can imagine he had a bigger dream. So to come and be cutting it down, it won't all go well with him. And I believe that as one Nigeria, we can actually move forward. We're a country with diverse people, diverse cultures. We're a melting pot of different people. But if we work together with the same goal in mind, I believe that we will get a better Nigeria.
All right, so I would like to put you on hold at this point. Just hold on. We are going to Abuja, where activities marking the Independence Day, the 62nd Independence Day anniversary, is still ongoing. And President Muhammadu Buhari is still there, looking at and observing the situation. And of course, Nigerians are celebrating. You can see the wife of the presidential candidate of the APC as his wife there, and of course the vice presidential candidate of the APC, Kashim Shettima, the wife of the presidential candidate of the APC, Oluremi Tinubu, and Kashim Shettima bantering and having a peaceful discussion there. Of course, Nigerians from all walks of life are at the Eagle Square in Abuja to celebrate Nigeria at 62. So, going back to our guest now, the special advisor on special duties to the governor of Enugu State, Uwakwe Azikiwe, looking at the celebration today, do you think there's hope for this country?
Well, yes, there is. Let me just finish up my answer on the last question about one Nigeria. Well, you see, if we treat the root of the problem that is causing people to want to leave that union, such as marginalization, nepotism, the fact that infrastructure in some areas are not the same as infrastructure in other areas, once you address those issues, the thought of dividing the country will not come up in people's minds. And that is why you need good leadership. A leader that comes in, understand that he's in charge of the whole country, he's a servant leader working for everyone, and everybody will be happy.
So going to my next question, do you think there is hope?
Of course, there's hope. There's hope. When we are 200 million, and why can't there be hope? Obviously, it's just for us to say, this is what we want. This is the kind of country we want. And then the electoral process is free and fair, and we elect the leaders that will take us to where we want. I'm actually happy with this election coming up because I've always been one who will tell people, make sure you vote. You have to be involved in the electoral process. And with the euphoria and the excitement leading up to this election, we can see that this might end up being the largest turnout in an election. And it says a lot about people wanting to be involved in electing their leaders. And that's a very good sign. That shows that we should have hope in this country moving forward.
Now, if you're saying we should have hope in this country, I would like to talk to you about what is called the Jackpot syndrome. People leaving the country despite the fact that people like you are optimistic of hope for this country. How do we stop the brain drain?
Creating opportunities for people. We have 200 million plus in Nigeria. And if someone cannot get a job, graduated from school for 10, 20 years and can't get a job, is self-preservation. They need to go elsewhere to find jobs that will help them preserve their lives, take care of their families, get married, do all sorts of things. So the only way for us to stop that is by ensuring that there are opportunities, have industries. How can someone go and read engineering and then all of a sudden is a teller in a bank? Those kinds of things are what causes a lot of people to want to go and look for other opportunities outside. And those countries, they are looking for skilled workers. So if somebody is looking for your skill, there's a tendency that as a human being, you would tend to want to go there. It's just that I was brought up in a home where my father told us that even if you go to school abroad, you must come back to join in making Nigeria better for your future. So at that time, we did that. But now, it's not at the condition where you will expect someone to be jobless for many years. And then like now, look at what's happening in the education sector. Schools are on strike. Students don't have anything to do. How would you now expect someone to stay in Nigeria when they can go abroad and go and get a better education that doesn't have any break? So it's good to have hope for Nigeria. That's why we need to elect leaders. Like I said earlier, a good leader is someone that will take the right decisions that will better your life. And how do you know a good leader? A good person. You need to know the person. Is this person good? Would this person take it? Is this a selfish person or a selfless person? So Nigerians need to start looking at those qualities, those personal traits of individuals before going to cast your vote for someone, not just at the presidential level, House of Reps, Senate, governorship, chairman level. These are all the different tiers of government. And whoever is sitting in a seat that takes a decision for people needs to be a good person. So we need to start looking at those qualities and get involved. As long as we always blame leadership but there's also a responsibility on followers. We need to keep them accountable. We need to let them know, if you don't do well, we will not take you back there. So the responsibility to move Nigeria forward both falls on the leaders as well as the followers.
Special Advisor on Special Duties to Governor of Enugu State, Uwakwe Azikiwe, thank you very much for joining us at this moment as Nigeria celebrates Independence Day. Happy Independence.
Thank you for having me. Happy Independence to all Nigerians. There's hope in this country. Let us make sure that this election, we all go out, cast our votes, secure our votes, and we all hope and pray that INEC does its job and makes it a free and fair election. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.